there's only a few people bigger than Izzy right now when we talk star power in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super excited about this. He's coming back in to get his title again. This would have made him a 3-time middleweight champion,
Yeah,
right?
it's crazy.
That's crazy. He defended the belt 5 times, I believe it was. He was one of the more active champions, and you gotta love that, dude.
He was so active, dude.
Him and Kamaru Usman were super
Yeah.
active. So say what you will about those guys, whether you like them or not, they were active every single year while they were champions, and I absolutely love that. But here we are, Dricus du Plessis, man, coming in, trying to defend his title, and now let's talk about the drama.
Yeah, the drama. The drama was he said he's the first African champ, or he's going to become the first African champ, saying that Israel, Kamaru, Francis weren't actually. Well, he likes to split the hairs. He knows what he was doing the first time he said it. Later on, he's like, I just mean I'm the first ever to live and train day in and day out in Africa with the belt. I'll be the first African champ. And it became this huge thing, right? South Africa, there's a lot of history there. If you don't know it, I don't want to get into it. But
If you don't know, now you know.
Well, you know half of it. There was a lot of beef. Israel took that to heart, and there was a lot of beef between them. And this was like, two Africans fighting, and it was a big deal. It was a big deal.
And then, I mean, leading up to, you see the press conferences, Izzy gets super emotional.
Yeah.
Super emotional in the press conferences. He starts crying. Dricus kind of looks over at him, and when he notices he's crying, did you see the smile on his face?
Yeah, dude. He was stoked.
And when I saw that, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah. It's not good.
It looks like Izzy's going into this overly emotional, right?
He made Sean cry, too.
That's right. Damn, Dricus on a roll.
He does it so casually, too.
Hey, y'all be careful.
He says like one thing that he knows will trigger all of your emotions, and then he sits back and smiles while you cry.
He's so evil. Dude. I didn't even think about that. He did make Sean Strickland cry.
Yeah.
He's like, tell us about your relationship with your dad. And he's like at the press conference, you're like, what are you doing, dude? Well, why are we talking about that right now?
And then you look back and Sean's sobbing.
Dude, come on, Dricus. What are we doing? So, yes, a lot of drama. We go into this, right? Izzy starts off switching stances off.
Lots of switches. Yeah.
And I love that there's the feints from Izzy, but then I also like the stutter steps. So he wouldn't just feint. He would stutter step into Dricus and kind of see what kind of footwork Dricus would respond with afterwards. And it's kind of like
footwork?
Yeah. Just catch these hands, dude. Wow.
Well, he was biting on all those feints a lot.
He was.
A ton. Which was what opened up the body shots for Izzy, right? Because every time he would throw a feint or anything, you get that high guard from Dricus, and it's like the body's open, right, for kicks, for the left hook, the liver shot, all that stuff. I mean, classic Izzy, right? Feint, good movement, peeling off, not straight backwards, all that kind of stuff, and then picking his shots, and then classic Dricus, just plodding forward, running at people. Go back to that picture, Rich. Back to, I think, yeah. I mean, that's the epitome of Dricus right there. That's his style.
Please don't hit me. That's what his face looks like right now. He's coming in.
And I mean, he just runs through people, throwing punches like a madman. That's all he does. But it's like he spazzes out at people, but in his head he knows a couple dynamics of that matchup that will work very well for him, and he'll just spam his way through that, or until that opportunity presents itself. He did it against Robert Whittaker. He did it against Sean Strickland. He did it against Darren Till. Like, it looks like he has no clue what he's doing out there. And maybe his body has no clue what his mind is doing, but like he still does. He's got a sharp mind, He's a champion.
Yeah. And then in the first round, the other red flag that I saw for Izzy, because by the way, I went into this thinking Izzy, let's go Izzy, right? Like, let's get this belt back. I did. Okay. And so in that first round where Dricus was extending his combinations, he ended up landing the last shot of his combos a few times in that first round. I thought to myself, that's not good. As the fight continues going on, if we continue doing this could be really bad. Right?
Yeah, and that's the same reason he had so much success against Sean, is that he doesn't either it seems like he does. This isn't the case, but from the naked eye, it looks like he doesn't know any better. So he just keeps throwing when he should say, I've lost this exchange. I'll retreat now or I'll
Yeah.
exit, where most guys would, right? Against someone like Izzy or against someone like Sean Strickland, where Sean Strickland frames off so far and he leans back and then he moves his feet. So those first 2 punches don't land. And then you're like, shit, I can't reach this guy. And then he's back on his jab. Whereas Dricus says, I don't care if I'm not reaching. I'll just keep throwing until I do reach.
Until something lands. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And he does the same thing against Izzy because Izzy does the same thing. The way he pivots and retreats, people give up mid combination, and Dricus doesn't. Dricus doesn't care.
So then we get to the second round, and he times a takedown beautifully.
Perfect.
Right? Takes Izzy down. Classic Izzy, though, doesn't accept position, continues scooting back, trying to find the cage, posting up on one of his arms. But Dricus kept on grabbing that wrist, trying to get that wrist control right. What he squeezed? What he squeezed?
Oh, Izzy grabbed the fence like 3 times.
Yeah. And he got a warning. He got a warning. He said, hey, don't grab the fence. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, okay,
that's why I grabbed it.
Second, bro. Let me get adjusted, And look.
Veteran move.
But Izzy gets back up. And at this point, Dricus starts looking a little gassed. And I thought, oh, no. Maybe he wasted too much energy trying to take Izzy down and keep him down.
Yeah, I thought, look, when he started looking tired, I was like, don't fall for his traps because he always looks tired. He always fights like he's underwater, and he somehow does it. It defies all logic. He does it. He looks exhausted. He said, I can't breathe. I had to get surgery or whatever so I could actually get more oxygen. He's still gassed the next fight, and he still won. So I was like, don't buy into the fact that he's tired. And then Izzy
I
just
bought into it. I went all in.
didn't.
I was like, he's gassed. All in. Yeah.
I didn't at first. I was like, hold on. Let's see a little bit more. And then Izzy started going to the body so much. And then I was like,
beautiful, left hook he was stepping in with, and the right hook. Oh, so
good. Then I was all in because I was like,
well, there was a left-right combo to the body, and Dricus steps back and he goes, and takes a deep breath, and that's when I was like, there it is.
Yeah, and lots of kicks to the body. I mean, just fantastic body work from Izzy, especially because the high guard of Dricus is so up there. Also, I really like the uppercut from Izzy, which is a fantastic read if somebody's high guard like that because you can split it with the uppercut. But the body work
times that he blitzed in, like in this picture here, Dricus putting his head down, coming in with overhand right, overhand left. There's a few times that he'd come in like that, and Izzy would step back and just miss with the uppercut, and I was like, oh, so close.
Yeah, and it's almost like Izzy's striking is good for good strikers because Dricus, if you go back one picture, Rich, really quick, look how far over his lead leg Dricus is. And it's like maybe he's so out of position that the normal combinations slip him just a little bit because he's not where people are used to hitting somebody. You know what I mean? Like at that level, your head should not be there at any point. And it's there every single time. And Izzy's so good at clipping people when they blitz, but normally their head's not that far out in front of them. So maybe that
normally
helps
they're
them.
Mechanically sound, technically sound.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Dricus is just fucking Dricus.
In that second round, you saw, Izzy has the ability to pick this guy apart, but you also saw Dricus has the ability to make this a grueling match if it continues going longer and longer. So you're like, which one's going to play out better? There's that right hook to the body that we were talking about earlier. Just beautiful shots, man.
Yeah. And then, I mean, that third round, I thought Izzy was starting to run away with it. Look
Piecing
at that
him
shot.
up.
Come on.
Piecing him up. Look at their spit coming out of Dricus' mouth right there after getting hit on the belly.
Yeah. I mean, beautiful. You feint to get the high guard up, and then you fucking left hook him to the liver, and you make him spit his guts out. I mean, just fantastic work. And that third round, he put it on Dricus, dude. He really put it on him. One of the judges gave it to Dricus, which is hilarious. But
what?
We'll talk more about the judging later.
Oh my god!
And real quick, shout out to Austin for joining the chat. We will definitely be talking about your comments as we finish up here. Fourth round. Again, Izzy looks like he's cracking him, but Izzy's starting to look a little tired.
Starting to fade a little bit. But I was thinking to myself, is it him getting really faded? his energy getting faded, or there was a couple shots that Dricus landed where his lateral movement, Izzy's lateral movement, seemed a little off all of a sudden. His equilibrium seemed to be a little off.
Yeah, and Izzy's got a great poker face. He gets hit and he recovers better than the rest.
And he he shakes his head.
Yeah, but you can see he gets a little bit more in the mud with his feet.
Yes.
You can't help that. You can have the best poker face in the world, but if your body's not being controlled,
so you saw it too.
Universe where DDP won round 3, and I refuse to hear otherwise.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. Yeah.
I had Izzy winning round 1, Dricus winning round 2, and then Izzy winning round 3. Round 4, Izzy was looking good, looking sharp, but then Dricus, Dricus started landing a couple clubbing shots. And this next picture here, this one here, Izzy does this thing where when he gets hurt, it almost seems like he's trying to be too nonchalant. Like he's trying to make you think like, I'm not in danger. But meanwhile, he's like, fuck, but he's like, I'm just going to keep doing my thing. And I'm going to
turns his back to him a little bit and kind of just skips away a little bit.
And Dricus did a great job of, a lot of times people will let you get away with that type of shit. Another good example of someone not letting someone get away with it is Benoit Saint-Denis versus Frivola, where Frivola thought he was just going to get up and separate, like everybody lets me, and I'll circle back around, we'll reset. And Benoit said, fuck no, dude, eat this high kick as he fade away. Dricus, same thing. He jabs a couple times, and Izzy thinks like, all right, yeah, I'll just shoulder roll these jabs as I fade away and walk away, and we'll reset. And Dricus is like, no, motherfucker, I'm on you still, dude.
The frustrating part is that this wasn't the first time Izzy did this. In the 4th round, like I said, he got caught a couple times. Did a little thing where he shook his head, turns his his right shoulder towards Dricus a little bit, and kind of like walks off to reset. And it's like, dude, let's not do this right now. Don't forget.
Yeah, you got to be.
Sean Strickland finished you up against the cage. Don't forget.
Dropped him. Yeah.
Or dropped him, yeah. Don't forget, we also had Poatan finish him when he was up against the cage. It's kind of like the same story. As soon as Izzy starts getting a little lackadaisical and going up against the cage and turning his back a little bit, that's when he ends up getting caught. And so I told you earlier, in the first round, I saw him extending these combos and catching him with that last round. I thought to myself, that's trouble.
Yeah. I mean, what's crazy too, because how many comparisons were made of Izzy and Anderson, right, throughout their whole career. And it's like, man, that's how Weidman got him. You just keep throwing. You can't get discouraged on the slips. You can't get discouraged on the first 3 or even 4 punches sometimes that don't land. You cannot slip every punch.
Do you remember how shocking that was when Weidman caught him?
Oh my God. I jumped out of my chair.
It was insane.
At that point, I loved Anderson. I love his career still. But at that point, I was starting to root for his opponents because he was so much higher than everybody that I just wanted someone who can beat this guy. I want to see it. And Weidman did it, and I was like,
Weidman beating Anderson. Then it was Ronda losing to Holly Holm.
Yeah, Holly.
Like some of these moments where it's just like, what? Shocking. Yeah, that was so much fun. Anyways, back to this fight.
Yeah, so he clips him up against the fence. He gets lazy. He falls into him. He trips him, drags him down. Adesanya, like you said, refusing to accept positions on takedowns. He never has. He's always just scrambled his ass off. He turns to his knees, hands on the mat to start standing up. Dricus jumps the back, sinks the choke in. I mean, he tried to do it earlier in the fight, and this is what I meant when he gets the choke. He switches to the gable grip. Izzy has to tap, so he submits him round 4, defends his belt. Shout out Venom for the shorts. Both of them had such cool fucking shorts.
Yeah.
But Dricus, when he fought Rob, everyone was like, oh, he just spammed through Rob. He got lucky. He's clunky. Rob wasn't ready. No, he saw something in the southpaw jab against Rob. I'll power jab him. Bam. Once I drop him, hops to half guard. Elbows. Once he starts defending the elbows, hop on the darts. If he defends the darts, ditch it. More like he knows certain aspects of the fight game for certain opponents. And he said in this fight, Izzy's so hard to keep down. So we thought, instead of trying to keep him down, attack him as he gets up.
Yes.
And he tried it earlier in the second round. And he said, I rushed it in the second round, but I didn't rush it in the 4th round. And I mean, fuck, dude. He brute forces his way to these positions that he game plans so effectively for. and he just spazzes his way through until he gets you into that position. It's fucking
It
baffling
was
to
good.
watch.
It was
It's
so
very
good.
good.
It was a quick tap from Izzy too. As soon as he sunk it in,
Yeah.
he rolls over, and as soon as he rolled him over, and you saw that look. You know, we've
Yeah.
all seen that look, dude, where he's just like, I can't get out of this.
Yeah.
And he taps. And I know that there was all kinds of drama between the two. I thought Dricus handled it very, very well.
I thought they both did.
Yeah, showed a lot of class. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I thought Izzy handled it very well also. A couple of awkward moments where they looked deeply into each other's eyes
They
in the
kissed.
octagon at the end. They sort
They
of,
did.
right?
They
He
kissed.
he he like he like kissed his hand and then
Yeah.
he was like boop and patted him
Yeah.
on the mouth.
That's it.
And that was an awkward moment, but I was really happy that they did this at the end.
Yeah, Austin says, crazy how Izzy could have made a different decision here and possibly made it out of the round. Best part of high level MMA is how any mistake can lead to a finish in any martial art. Shit's so exciting. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's the
can't agree
stuff that
more.
it's just shocking, dude.
And
Things
and
like that happen in a split second, and you're just
I
like,
know
oh
it's
my God.
all in hindsight, Ryan. Looking back, like if you're Izzy, maybe get out of that round, get on your back a little bit, use your jujitsu, and you think
Yeah.
I've been piecing them up like crazy.
Hmm.
I think I could still take this in the fifth round.
Yeah,
Maybe to fight
but
another day.
yeah, but it's hard to accept that, and it's probably hard to know. It's hard to accept bottom position with 2 minutes left in a round against Dricus, who mauls people when he's on top. If you watch that Darren Till fight, you watch the Robert Whitaker fight, when he gets on top of people, he fucks them up. And it's like, hey, I might
That's
be able to
fair.
survive this round,
That's
but even
fair.
if I do, I might not be the same for the fifth round, you know? Um,
That's very fair because you're right. Izzy was also getting caught with a couple of those shots. Like, yes,
yeah.
he was piecing up Duplessis in the third and the fourth round, but Duplessis was
Mhm.
landing some heavy shots, and like you
Yeah.
said, his footwork started to change a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just fucking impressive work from Dricus, dude.
I know. And
Very impressive.
there's always that one fight where a champion wins, and you're like, "This is it." Like they're the champion. They are the champion.
Solidified. Solidified.
Solidified, 100%. And
Yeah.
this 100% solidified Dricus Duplessis. All the champions have that moment. For me,
Mhm.
we think of Volkanovski, for example.
Yeah.
There
When
is
he
a moment
finally put the nail in the coffin.
where he beat Max Holloway down, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, dude, solidified, right?" But man, it could have been such a cool night for City Kickboxing.
It was on a roll, man.
It was
It
on
was
a
well on its
roll.
way.
Yeah, but all good things must come to an end.
Yeah, and things just change. It's just different, right? Like,
Yeah,
I do personally. I wish Izzy got the belt. I was hoping he got the belt back.
I want to see
Uh,
one more run.
Me too, and he still could. I know he's getting up there in
I
age,
ain't
but
leaving.
yeah, I ain't never gonna stop. Uh, but I mean, there's still fun matchups for him in the division. There's the Sean Strickland rematch that could happen potentially
Yeah.
if because they're gonna do Dricus versus Sean is what Dana's saying, at least for now. Uh,
No, Boatan
so
said he's gonna go down.
I hope he doesn't. That's the stupidest shit ever, dude. That would
I
piss me
don't
off
know,
so
dude.
much.
He's the boogeyman. Let him do whatever the heck he wants, man.
Yeah, how about fucking actually fight a contender instead of someone ranked 8? I know that's not on him. That's on the
Yeah, I
UFC.
was
I
gonna
don't
say
want
he's
to fault
not
him for that.
matchmaking
Yeah. Well, when he's saying I'm gonna go down after this one,
because
he is.
but they also called him 15 days before his last fight, and he accepted. Right?
True.
He's down to fight anybody that they throw his
No,
way.
true. Yeah, that's why I don't want to put it on him, but Khalil getting a title shot over Ankalaev is fucking
This guy
insane.
was probably wrestling anacondas in the Amazon barehanded
Yeah.
when he got the call, and he was like, "Sure, I'll fight Khalil Roundtree."
Yeah.
Put this
That's weird that
anaconda
you guys
down real
just
quick.
booked Ankalaev a couple days ago instead of booking him with me, but fine.
But fine, I'm whatever, dude.
I see people online who are like, they couldn't have gave it to Ankalaev. He's already booked, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
That's like the dumbest shit I've ever heard. He's
Look,
already booked because they booked him. They could have just not booked him.
go
You know?
down, fight Dricus, win the belt, hand it back, and say, "I don't want it anymore." Go back
Yeah.
up, fight Khalil Roundtree. He can
Yeah.
do it all.
Well, yeah, but
Fight Dricus
I
1 week, and the
what
next weekend
Dricus
fight Khalil.
what Dricus said I do like. He said because someone asked him about, oh, Alex said he's gonna go down and fight you, and he's like, that's fine, but like, don't come at me with that bullshit if I beat him. Where that people already say that Izzy beat him because he's depleted at middleweight, And he's like, I don't want him coming down here with a built-in excuse. I'll go up to fight him if we need to do it, but like, I don't want any of that bullshit. If I beat him, people to be like, oh, the weight cut, that's why. And it's like, don't come down here with a preemptive excuse. You know what I mean?
What were to happen if we have Poatan go down, loses to Dricus, and Dricus says, hey, you try to come down and get my belt, I'm going to go up and get yours. And then they rematch
hate it all. I hate all of it. Everything that you're saying right now, I hate it so much.
Take my money. That sounds like so much fun.
I just need to get these fucking divisions along, bro. I need title defenses off of non-rematches. Please.
But it wouldn't be a rematch in 205.
It would be no, but there's still. I also don't like
technicalities, dude.
I also don't like champions moving up and trying for another belt too soon. He just had his first title defense. They're already talking about him moving up. Come on. And then his second title
career short. Go grab that bag.
Or just pay them well enough to where they don't need to do that shit.
There's a budget.
There's a budget. We can't
break the budget, dude.
All the pay-per-view
money. How else are we gonna pay all those Apex bangers?
Yeah.
Come on.
We're doing a remodel at the Apex. We can't be
giving we're doing a remodel. Bonuses. New carpet.
They guys. Are. They're closing it.
Oh no. All right. Hey, let's move on.
It's gonna be a good 6 months.
25 minutes in.
Yeah.
All right. Austin says, does Alex even survive the weight cut again at 40?
No, that's probably. I'll never doubt it. Probably, right?
Yeah, the dark arts.
Defies all, yeah.
The dark arts. Hey everybody, Ramiro and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. All right, everybody, thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.